Welcome to ZOOMERTIMES TV. And here's your host, Anita Finley.
Hello, everybody. Well, here we are in South Florida. Actually, today it's a little rainy, but you know that we do these wonderful ZOOMERTIMES presentations with great people. They're either celebrities or guests who've written books or event coordinators. And I'm lucky to have one today. I have a national events coordinator who's going to help put together the greatest Halloween evening in South Florida. And for those of you who've been to the Delray Marketplace, you know what a fantastic place that is. Well, you can imagine now with all the decorations and all they're going to do. And just got to mark your calendar because, you know, it's interesting. The kids, I don't know, the Halloween changes depending on when it falls, because I don't think they want kids out on weekends, but I don't know when. So we're going to do this on October the 28th from 5:30 to 8. So my guest today is none other. He's pretty famous around the country. His name is Eric Bowlin. And Eric, why don't you take it away and just tell us the magic that you make?
Well, you said you had celebrities on your show. I appreciate that.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm often called different things like the Easter Bunny or the Santa Claus, although I don't play one. But this time of year, I'm the Candy Man and the Pumpkin Guy.
Okay.
We're doing our annual Safe Halloween Trick-or-Treat event at the Delray Marketplace, which consequently is just west of the Turnpike on West Atlantic and Lyons Road. And we have just ordered 54,000 pieces of candy to give away. So you guys better come and bring your kids to do the Safe Halloween Trick-or-Treating. We've got the Fish and Game officers that will be on premise because they're going to mainly control the flow of the traffic, because it is unquestionably the largest volume people event that we've got in our shopping center all year long. And we are so happy to come back. There were those that you may be, your viewers, listeners that may have come last year. We were going to scrub it all together, but we did a drive-through trick-or-treat event, and it was in the back parking lot, and it was very well received because people didn't want to get out of their cars, and they would open their windows this much, and we'd push candy through, and kids. So we're happy to be back in a traditional sense.
Eric, excuse me, I want to ask you a question. I don't have any children living here. Can I come without children? Can everyone come?
No, it's kids in costume. Yeah. Now you can't get candy, but you can come in costume and you can walk around. It'll be a fun thing to witness.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll come. Can I bring my dog?
Yeah. Pets are welcome on a leash, of course. Well-behaved friends, furry friends. And we've got other activities going on in the marketplace at the amphitheater, our famous amphitheater. If you haven't seen it, you need to come and see that. It's a big grassy area. You can bring your toddlers. We actually have 2 vendors that are going to have play areas for toddlers that have the soft play equipment. And so there's something for everybody, really. Just not candy, Anita. We can't have candy for the people over 11.
I don't know. That's okay. I don't need. I just like to see the event. I'm sure you put a lot of planning into this, and everything Delray Marketplace does is spectacular. So that's what I want to come for, just to sit and enjoy that.
It's a nice environment, and if you're feeling a little lacking in your fall spirit, this will certainly bring you right up to speed.
And you know, something people don't know about you is that you actually are a national events planner. You do this all over the country. So right now you're in Dallas. What made you get into this business? Were you just a fun kid?
Well, I grew into it like most people grow into their business choices. I left the radio business and did marketing events with them more than 12 years ago, and that was my career that I gave up to go out on my own to do this specialized event and marketing coupled together.
Well, Eric, we have put on many expos, and it's not easy. I mean, it happens on one day, but the weeks and months before, are really enormous. And so how do you manage this, that you're flying all over the country, and how often do you come? I mean, how many days do you come before the event?
Well, typically, other than the last week of October, because I'm the miracle man. I'm that man behind the curtain that you're not supposed to look at. And we've got, I'm actually physically being at 4 separate events in 7 days next week, because we're doing as many fall festivals and trick-or-treat events as we can possibly jam in before the 31st, before the witching hour, as they say.
Mm-hmm. And I think something you said is true. It's even more spectacular because everybody has been holed up. And now they're all out there, right? In fact, I go to my friend's house who lives in a neighborhood where it's frightening to walk my dog. The skeletons are coming from the trees, from the houses, everywhere.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be back out, Anita, that's for sure. And it's really rewarding to see the smiles and the gratitude that most people really express to our groups and the shopping centers for helping to bring them together back as families to be out again.
Eric, and let me say, this is Eric Bowlin, and he's a national events coordinator and planner, and for me anyway, for the Delray Marketplace. But I was thinking about this, and the reason I love the Delray Marketplace is there's kind of a one entrance in. I mean, you go to some of these big shopping plazas and you can go to a lot of entrances and exits, and this is so beautifully planned. You go in and you've got the parking in the front, in the back. So it's easier to get in and to get out, especially you're going to have some people there coordinating all that.
Well, yes, and I appreciate you bringing that up. We do what we can, and I see the frustration because we have.
It's frustrating to get in and out because we've got just so many people in a short amount of time. So we enter into the entrances near the Publix entrance off of West Atlantic. And we also enter in off, if you're coming from the north part of Lyons Road, you enter off of Lyons Road. And then we direct you to the back to park. And there's a lot of people that we serve, but it is a big parking lot. And we've got staff in place to try and make it as an easy flow as possible.
And do people have to bring their own big bags for the candy, or do you supply them?
We'd recommend that you do bring your own bag. That would be helpful. We will have limited quantities of other bags, but yes, be prepared to take some of that candy home in your own bag.
I'm an older person, and when I used to do this with my children, we used to wait for the pennies, and we'd come home and we'd count up all our pennies. Now, do people still give change?
Do we what? I'm sorry.
Do people still give change out instead of just candy and other kinds of things?
No, we've got some novelty toys and some candy. It's mixed. It's a mix. We have a little bit for everything. We try and give the candy to the kids that are younger, because the novelty toys could be a choking hazard for those young ones. Right.
So this is happening, of course, I just said this is on the 28th of October, which is exciting. And you know what I did? Oh, and it's Thursday. Everyone should write this down. When I tell people you're watching something, and I'm guilty of this myself, get yourself a pen and the Zoomer Times and just write down Thursday, the 28th of October. And it's going to be from 5:30 to 8 8, yeah, to 5:30 to 8, correct? And so that's enough
Yeah.
time for you to go and have a lot of fun and make this your big Halloween party. Someone invited me to a little Halloween dinner and I said, nah, I want to go out to Delray Marketplace. But of course, you're telling me that I don't have children. I ought to adopt some children for the night. So
Yeah,
tell me,
we're
do you have
excited for
children?
it. I do. They've just gotten out of that age where they're going to be trick or treating, under the, I said the unspoken law that they're too old, 11 and 16.
Oh,
I
they're
think
not
that the
too old.
11-year-old's going out again, but
Sure.
dad'll be at work. I'll be in Baltimore
Right.
for Halloween.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, well, it's a very, it's funny. Maybe I'm imagining it, but it seems like there's more excitement about Halloween than even Christmas or Thanksgiving or July 4th. And people who I know, a friend who owns a big costume shop, this is where she makes all her money on Halloween. What makes Halloween so important in your opinion?
I think it's the joy. I think it's just an overwhelming joy to bring people together. You think of other holidays, you go with family. Christmas, certainly Easter. I mean, those are both holidays that Thanksgiving, you're with your immediate family, and that's very well and good and all close. But I think Halloween is particularly special to people because it's an invitation to be social with complete strangers and be welcomed.
And to be spooky.
Or smiley. I mean, we don't always are happy to see the spooky ones, but it's the unknown too. It's what's going to come around the corner, and what is it going to be, a goblin, a ghoul, or an Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, it is. And so did your kids did you have to buy costumes for them? Because I didn't tell you this, but I do have triplet grandchildren who are 15 and they live in Miami, and they buy all these big, enormous things to put out on the lawn that kind of makes noises and lights up, and then they always have to decide what they're going to be. That's a big event.
Yeah, it's a lot of anticipation goes into the big day.
Well, so now you have Halloween, of course, it's on Thursday the 28th, but you said quite a few events. So when someone asks you to do this, is this just something you've always done? I mean, how do you know how to plan for that particular area? Because right now you're in Dallas, that's Texas. Texas is different than Florida. So how do you know what to do for Florida?
Well, everybody likes to differentiate their community and make it uniquely their own. And they say we're very different than the others. And while Broward County and Palm Beach County are unique, there are most counties and cities and communities in the country have the same similarities. They're looking for the same, they have the same needs, the same shopping habits. They all need gas. They all need diapers for kids. They need, all the same. They all go to school and take their kids to school. We all share the same traffic frustrations, except for that I-95. That's a special one. I can tell you about that. But so we have a process that and I appreciate the question. We have a process that we basically replicate and change the names for each community. I mean, we like to, in most of our events, we have community dignitaries, leaders, and municipalities that participate with our events because they have a need for community service as part of their community service commitment. That'd be police, fire, and sheriffs, things of that nature, the highway patrol, the YMCAs, the Boys and Girls Clubs, youth groups, honor societies are many of our volunteers. And so I have to give a little credit. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit. I don't do all this by myself. I have a real 5-star event planner that is behind the scenes. And she works tirelessly to put all the names with those different entities, like I've pointed out, so that when I get there, I have checklist like the one that I'm holding up that
I see.
is thick with different names and activities, and so that's how I'm able to do it. I couldn't do it myself and do in 1 week after the other in replication like that without her help.
Well, and also let me show our viewers, of course, you've been getting Boomer Times, and this is a beautiful ad. They produce a beautiful ad every month. This is the Delray Marketplace ad. So while you're there, I'm sure the shops will be open also, won't they? They're open.
Oh yes. Yeah, they're all excited to have you there, and we'll be having sales, and they're kind of pseudo sidewalk sale. Some of them will have items outside their stores, but obviously welcome to come in. Some of them, well, most of them will be giving candy out in front of their stores, but by no means is that to deter you from going in and buying their goodies and services.
I was just gonna say that I'm sure, because some of them are just very big national chains, and like, so Chico and a lot of the ones that black and white, and also I'm sure they'll be giving out beautiful things, and make sure that you bring your kids, stay with them, or maybe you bring your husband, stays with them, and you go shopping. I don't know, but Delray Marketplace, if you haven't gone there yet to shop, that's really a place to go, because it's really easy. It's not like, as I said, this huge spread out place, one shop after another, and there's a lot of friendship and a lot of very good restaurants, as Eric said. And then of course there is Publix, where I try to go to support the community there. But do you know that there is a wonderful place now which helps kids? It's like, and I'm trying to remember the name because we featured them, and I really do want to get that name because they are very, very nice. What they do now is they bring your kids there, and they after school, and they're there and they play games, they do all sorts of things. And at the moment I've lost the name, but as you talk, I'm going to find the name, because we featured them, and the woman who is the founder of this place is just absolutely astonishing. I mean, this is a place I wish, and she'd like to, of course, franchise this for all over the country, because there's a time after school you don't know what to do with your kids, and these are kids from 5th, 6th grade all the way up into high school, and she has great events for them and everything. And so when
that's the study lounge, Anita.
That's it, study lounge.
And it's it looks like a 5-star lobby of a hotel when you walk in, and beautiful furnishings, very inviting, and of course controlled entry exit, so the kids can't, they keep track of your kids. And I believe that they've got live stream video if you want to check in on your 5th grade or 6th grade or something like that from wherever you are. And it creates an environment healthy for studying and getting caught up. And it is rather unique.
It is. And I know that you go to all these other centers, and people really ought to have something like this, because when your kids come home from school, what do you do with them? But this isn't just babysitting. I went there and I spent a few hours, and they all get together, they're all having so much fun, they're cooking, they're investigating, they're tech, doing things on the computer. So I'm sure they're going to go crazy for this on Halloween.
We've got some very unique independent stores. We've got some nice chain locations for fashion. We've also got the theater that is just reopened and changed hands. Paragon Cinemas now offer the most modern environment for movie viewing. And then of course we've got a bowling alley in our shopping center as well, and very unique and independent dining. And if you've been at the Delray Marketplace, we've got some new choices for you that are just now reopening here, even in the coming weeks. So when you stroll around, you'll notice a lot of new options for independent owned, unique dining experiences that in Palm Beach County, there's a lot of dining choices. So they've really upped their game, and it's worth a trip over to take a look at the new options.
Eric Bowlin, who's my guest, and we're so privileged to have him. He's calling in. Actually, he's in his office car. He has a car and he travels so much, so it's an office. I love that idea. But he is in Dallas, and he is very exciting to talk with, because a lot of people are planning Halloween. I mean, a little party or something, but this is a big party, and it's in a very safe place for your kids, so you don't have to worry about them. Please bring your grandchildren, whomever you want. Make sure that you go there and enjoy this. And it's from 5:30 to 8 on Thursday, the 28th of this month. And we're sending out a flyer, as a matter of fact, to a lot of you who are on our mailing list that will even give you something in your hand. But if you just go on the web if you want and look up Delray Marketplace, and you'll be able to see. But as Eric said, it's easy to get to. It's West Atlantic, and it's just it's just before the Turnpike, and it's just easy to get to. So you want to go there. And Lyons Road, everybody knows that. There are a lot of beautiful communities there, and this is like their special shopping plaza.
Yeah, it's their home, and we're sure happy to call it home for them.
Yeah. So Eric, when you leave now, I mean, you're here. Of course, you're not here right now. You're in Dallas. Are you doing? Because you really, I forget. You're from Nevada, aren't you? Where's your home?
Reno, Tahoe, Nevada.
Oh, yeah, right. Exactly.
Although I just go back to check to make sure my key works from time to time.
You're funny. And so you have an 11-year-old, and that's, what is it, a he or she?
Our daughter Mackenzie is 11, and she's going on 28.
What's she gonna dress up as? So what's she gonna dress up as?
She had some funny thing with a beak that she could see through, and I forgot what she said that it was going to be, but yeah, she's going to go out. She's 11. She's right at that age where maybe, she'll still be welcomed, and the people will still give her candy, but so she still loves it. And and then our 16-year-old son, he's going to answer the door this year. I don't think he's not going to dress up. Well, he's as tall as I am. Would you give a kid that's 6'1" candy that he's 16? Maybe.
Well, but he ought to dress up when he opens the door and scares people.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll be the case. Yeah.
Eric, it was so nice of you to do this with us today. We're so excited about this, and we want to do everything to get people, of course, to go to the Delray Marketplace. But this is an extraordinary time that they can shop, they can dine there, they can enjoy everything, and you've really made it a wonderful thing. And thank you for doing this. We're very thankful.
Well, you're sure welcome. It's my passion to do. I love it still, and some people, they just don't understand, but I don't understand what other people do either. It's what makes the world go round. And if you want to have a good time, and it's safe, and a family experience, and meet new people and be entertained with lots of costumes, and even if it's just to come stroll around and take it all in, the entire shopping center is the stroll for Halloween. So from one end to the other, candy will be given out to kids 11 and under in costume, from one end all the way to the other, from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. a week from next Thursday. It's Friday now. Yeah. Next Thursday, the 28th, at the Delray Marketplace, Lyons Road and West Atlantic.
And now you can wear your mask and decorate it, and you'll be right in time to do what you're supposed to do. So thanks, Eric. We appreciate it very much. Have a safe trip.
You're welcome, Anita. Here too. Okay. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.